As Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump try to weather the storms over these latest controversies, analysts on both sides of the aisle are watching down-ballot races and what the election will mean for the Senate and the House, where Republicans hold their largest majority since 1928. Let's bring in Kyle Kondik, political analyst at the University of Virginia Center for Politics and author of the new book, The Bellwether: Why Ohio Picks the President. Are you as whiplashed as the rest of us are from the constant swirling winds and developments in this presidential campaign, Kyle?
It's just incredible, and of course there's been a lot of crazy developments even over the last day. And you know, the challenge for Trump is that he was getting fairly close in the polls before the first debate, and then he started losing support after the first debate, and it's really been it's just getting worse, I think. And if the major story of the day, and I think it will be and will continue to be that you know, whether Trump, you know, was groping women or something like that, I mean, I don't see how that helps him come back given the hole that he's already in.
There have been a lot of concerns, especially expressed by Republicans, that if Donald Trump does not do well in the presidential race, that it could hurt down-ballot races for the House and the Senate. Historically, how strong is that effect, and is it likely to be a problem for Republicans this time around?
So what we've seen in recent years is that there's been a decline in ticket splitting both at the Senate and the House level. And so I think that probably the best bet throughout this election cycle has been that the presidential winner would likely carry the Senate, although maybe just by a very small amount or even just a 50-50 tie broken by the vice president. So if you think that Clinton is favored, as I think I do, then I think you probably have to think the Democrats are a small favorite in the Senate. And as for the House, I think the Republicans have done a very good job holding down potential losses in the House. A lot of the seats that look like Democrats would end up easily winning are actually still very competitive. But if the bottom drops out for Trump, he could drag down a lot of Republicans with him, potentially even putting the House in play. And really, it's looked like the whole cycle that the Republicans would pretty comfortably hold the House. But who knows how things might break at the end here.
One of the keys, despite the title of your new book, one of the keys is Florida. And President Obama was there yesterday having an interview with a Miami radio station talking about how high the stakes are. Play that for you.
The only way it gets in the bag is when Florida puts it in the bag. Once Florida is determined, that can determine the election.
Do you agree with that?
So Hillary Clinton does have a path to winning the presidency without Florida or without Ohio, for that matter. I don't think Donald Trump does. I think Trump has to win Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio. As states that George W. Bush carried twice, and Obama carried Florida and Ohio twice. Obama carried North Carolina once. And then if Trump was able to do that, he'd have to pick up some additional states. But I do think that if Clinton wins either Florida or Ohio, that this election is over. And she's leading in both of those states currently.
She is leading in Ohio because until fairly recently, Trump was up in Ohio.
That's right. Trump led a number of polls, including one from Fox News, I don't know, about 3-4 weeks ago. But in recent polls have shown Clinton reasserting herself here. And I feel like Clinton is probably up somewhere around 3 to 4 points in Ohio. That's smaller than her national lead. But if that holds up in Ohio, I think that effectively blocks Trump from coming back.
Trump has had problems before in this campaign. Obviously, Time magazine put out a famous meltdown cover with his image on it. Now it's total meltdown. Take a look. This is the total meltdown cover. If you compare it to what happened or what they put on their cover back in August, you can see, well, it's like Frosty the Snowman there. Is it really that bad for the Trump campaign?
I think it is pretty bad because historically it's very hard to come back from a polling deficit this big, this late in the campaign. And again, it doesn't seem like there's any real clear momentum for Trump, specifically because what we've been talking about really since the weekend was the Billy Bush audio tape and then some of these other revelations. And as long as this is the main story, I just don't see how that helps him. I mean, I think the big weakness for Trump amongst Republicans in this cycle has been he's a little bit weaker with suburban Republican women. I just don't see how any of these stories are helping him with that demographic.
But as we have noted time and time again, Hillary Clinton has her own weaknesses, and these WikiLeaks revelations are not helping her campaign. We'll see how it all shakes out over the less than 4 weeks we have left. Kyle Kondik, University of Virginia. Kyle, thank you.